Natural health preset. Top 10 surprising histories of common fruits. Fruits are odors of sweetness and seed that we have grown over millennia to feed ourselves. We tend to think that the various fruits we enjoy have been only slightly altered on the orchards of domestication. The truth is that there are more interesting histories of for 10. The kiwi fruit's nationality. The fruit, shortened as kiwi, was named after the bird of the same name due to its fuzzy brown resemblance. The curiously shaped avians are endemic to New Zealand, and you'd expect the fruits to be, too. After all, they produced over $1 billion for the country in 2000. However, kiwi fruit actually originated in China under a name that translates to macaque peach due to its popularity with the local monkeys. Later on, the English named it the Chinese gooseberry for reasons completely unknown. Number 9. The pineapple's adoration. For centuries, everyone involved in the pineapple's colonial trade absolutely adored it. The earliest records involve Carib Indians, expert navigators who traded and raided across the islands to collect all manner of bounty. The intense sweetness of the pineapple elevated it as a staple in important feasts and cultural rites. During Columbus's second voyage to the Caribbean, his crew hauntingly found pineapples beside pots of body parts. Number 8. The tomato's toxicity. By now, it is common knowledge that the tomato has a tainted past. Being a member of the notoriously, the bright red tomato was thought by wary Europeans to be toxic for over 2 centuries. But this was no simple assumption on appearance. Affluent Europeans did die of poisoning after eating tomatoes on their pewter plates. Fruit released lead, a component metal of pewter alloy at the time, producing a deadly combination of tableware and tomato. 7. The avocado's salvation. Before agriculture, avocado seeds enjoyed widespread travel in the bodies of various megafauna before being defecated in fertile feces. Birds and other small animals did not provide any benefit in helping plant the large seed and so were all lethally deterred from eating avocados through Number 6. The pumpkin's tradition. Our favorite squash, the pumpkin, wasn't always able to be carved into sturdy, smiling Halloween decorations. However, even pilgrims praised the pumpkin's long storage time and sweetly nutritious flesh in this verse circa 1633. For pottage and puddings and custards and pies. Our pumpkins and parsnips are common supplies. With the chili pepper's ubiquity. Chilies are intensely spicy to prevent animals from eating their seeds, which aren't suited for survival past digestion. In an evolutionary insult, humans raised and ate chili peppers, specific juicing varieties so intense that they blister skin and blind if exposed to the eye. Latin Americans are stereotypically known to enjoy an apparent immunity to the blazing effects, a not entirely false notion given the cultural origin of the chili. Number 4. The strawberry. Ancestral strawberries originated in both Europe and North America. The French selected wild strawberries for sweetness, but the fruit was still small. Only the Sun King's plans for royal domination romantically brought the parents of the modern strawberry together from across the continent. The apple's alcohol. Apples have been eaten since before Jericho's walls were built. They were revered in Western cultures as a mythical symbol and still are respected as a daily health remedy. On the great American frontier, Johnny Appleseed planted plenty of apple trees for welcome settlers, but they didn't munch on them. The notion of eating apples was actually rare since most varieties were bitter and unpleasant. Over time, apples were selected to become larger and tastier, but until then, their main purpose was to create another product. Number 2. The rhubarb's warning. The plight of China during the Opium Wars was tragic. Technologically superior militaries allowed Western nations to bully China and steal its wealth. The worst offense was the introduction of opium, which ruined many lives due to uncontrollable addiction and poverty. Number 1. The Breadfruit's mutiny. Breadfruit was discovered by a scientific crew in Tahiti, an island located in the center of the South Pacific. 18th-century Europeans had gathered to witness the transit of Venus, an extremely rare astronomical event which is similar in nature to a solar eclipse by the moon. With them was botanist Joseph Banks, who correctly and impressively identified the breadfruit as a cheap and nutritious fruit, albeit for the mistreated slaves of the sugar plantations. King George III directed Lieutenant